Hi, everybody. This is Tara Betts, and I'm on the purple couch recording another video for my channel. And I wanted to respond to a question I had from fellow Chicago poet Mike Pewikin. And he asked me, uh, what new poets am I excited about? And that's a question I could go on and on and on about. I love the fearlessness of young poets. I love some of the things they do with language. I love how a lot of them are delving into poetic form in new and exciting ways. Um, I just, and it gives me hope, I think, to read younger poets. I love the older poets. I feel like I learned so much from those who are elders and ancestors, and that's a whole other thing. I think there's a certain kind of wisdom that comes with time, right? And experience and exposure to other voices and experience. But with young poets, they have experiences too. And sometimes they have that fearlessness. And I'm always in awe of that. And one of the young writers that does that for me, and there's a host of them, I'll probably share more of them here, but one of them is um, one of Chicago's youth poet laureates, and her name is Patricia Frazier. I believe she's in college right now, but before she went to college, she published a collection called Graphite. So it looks like this. Um, the poem I want to read, she's from the south side of Chicago, and a lot of her poems touch on that, right? So I wanted to read a poem that's specifically called Englewood Teaches a Lesson in Pronunciation. And I'd like to dedicate it to my friend and photographer, Tanika Johnson, who has done immeasurable work as a community organizer in Englewood and bringing people together to talk about how segregation not only disempowers parts of Chicago, but it also like makes people have totally different impressions of the city that some of the same people, we live in different parts of the city, but we experience that city very differently based on the region in which we reside. So I think she's done a lot to break a lot of stereotypes with that work. And she's a lifelong Englewood resident. So this is for my girl Tanika, and it's called Englewood Teaches a Lesson in Pronunciation. I heard folks mistook it for Black Death, made sacrilege of my name before stepping foot on my asphalt. I heard white kids been beatboxing my name in their poems, so an imperialist jukebox produced by Fox News. They made a sound cloud, chopped and screwed, diss track of my body fit for street cred. A white girl called me a war zone but ate my name in the trenches of her teeth, Englewood. My curves too obtuse to fit comfortably between her hips. My name is something earned, a plus size pilgrimage only bucket boys know, a covenant of closed schools and colored girls clawing their way out. My name is pleading no, while Rom does what Daley did to my sister Hyde Park. Another gentrified black girl gone. But us black girls don't be getting no Amber Alerts. Bombed the first black family to make a home in my skin. Gave up when there became more black people than bombs to throw. Realized how to color bomb through the TV screen. Call it modern warfare technology. Why you think anti-Englewood rhetoric percolates through Chicago bodies? A blood clot of black on black crime, while Northside neighborhoods get to call their violence intercommunal. The whip of white savior wordplay, the Whole Foods is a grave plot for those who couldn't be whited out. My name, the tree that is soiling the rest of the forest. Cut down, hill to a landfill, where white privilege plays Rom the Builder with my limbs, and nobody asks me for consent before taking my name to make Chicago the martyr they need her to be. I pray y'all make my name a good porn, a liquor store lacquer, a flash mob crip walk on Garfield. I pray somebody writes an ode to Englewood. Turn my name into a city of God, a black hole of a black girl resurrection. I raised a girl that wrote poems. Heard she say my name real well. Call me a non perishable. If you've ever known me as anything else, you shouldn't be writing poems about Englewood. Patricia Frazier, the poem is Englewood Teaches a Lesson in Pronunciation, and it's a beautiful personification of a part of the city that gets stereotyped all the time. She draws attention to how the media does not address missing black girls in a part of the city that for years and years and years, black girls have come up missing and nobody would ever talk about it. Um, I like the clever wordplay. I like the listing towards the end of the poem, what she wants her name to be. That there's these references that are so Chicago, like to talk about Rahm Emanuel and Mayor Daley and Bucket Boys, and to talk about Garfield, which is 55th Street, and then to talk about, you know, it's the Whole Foods even, which I told people when they put a Whole Foods in Englewood, that was definitely a sign that gentrification was here. But in any case, I hope you'll check it out. This is kind of what the poem looks like on the page. So I think sometimes it's good to see that kind of white space. But if you want to check it out, it's in a book called Graphite. Thanks. Talk soon.